Living in my day-to-day, knowing there's a better way, but no magic word to say. Then I realize that it is done as I believe, that if I ask, I shall receive, and that there's just one perfect magic word that I will ever need. Love is good medicine. Ain't no pill or drug can do it better than good love is good medicine. Cures what ails you, puts you on your feet again. Good love is good medicine. Ain't no pill or drug can do it better than good love is good medicine. Cures what ails you, puts you on your feet again. Long before the age of 3, something got a hold of me, got into my heart and soul, grabbed the wheel and took control. I'd like to start with my baby tonight and blow my top with my baby tonight. I'd like to stop with my baby tonight and blow my top with my baby tonight. But I'd be a flop with my baby tonight, 'cause it's too darn hot. They say into your early life romance came, and in this heart of yours burned a flame that flickered one day and died away. There's a spark of magic in your eyes. Candyland appears each time you smile. Your arms open wide, and wrap me inside you tonight. Yes, my love, so tenderly. The way I love my music, the way I love my music, the way I love my, way I love my, the way I love my, way I love my music.
Good afternoon and welcome back to My Harlem Portraits, the show that sheds a light on the fundamental contribution of Black excellence and their contribution to the building of this country. To talk about Black excellence today, we have a really fundamental contributor to that excellence. He is an award-winning singer, songwriter, entertainer, band leader of the soul, jazz, and recording artist. Welcome with us, Ty Stevens.
It's my pleasure to be here. Thank you so much, Maria.
I'm so happy to see you finally, because
Right.
we always talk on the phone or text each other and
Yeah.
all over the world, always once in Japan, once here, once there. So
Yeah.
are you in New York now?
I'm in New Jersey. I live in New Jersey.
All right.
Yeah, but I'm local. Haven't
You're
traveled
local
in
right now.
haven't traveled in quite some time.
Well,
It's
not
getting
bad.
uncomfortable.
That's right.
I got to get out soon.
I know, I know. I was stuck for 9 months, and that was a lot. I couldn't go
Mm.
to Italy. I had to see my mom. She's 92, so I needed to
Oh,
see
yeah,
her.
you had to. Yeah, it's important.
So the first time I saw you, you were performing a few years ago at Aaron Davis Hall, City
Mm-hmm.
College
Uh-huh.
in Harlem, and you were in charge of a celebration for the legendary Harry Belafonte's
Uh,
birthday.
uh-huh. Uh-huh.
That's the first time I saw you, and I thought, wow, who's this guy? I
Oh,
need to
wonderful.
know him. You
Thank you.
were doing amazing.
Uh-huh.
Tell our viewers a little bit about that, because you've been collaborating quite a lot with Harry
Yeah.
Belafonte.
Yeah. I was with Harry Belafonte's company for 3 years, and from 1987 to 90. And in that amount of time, we formed such a bond with the group that we were with, because it changes through time. Some of the musicians and vocalists come and go, but this particular grouping, we've stayed together as a family more or less since then. And we came up with the idea that Harry was approaching 90 at the time, and it was like, who's celebrating this milestone for him in a way that's appropriate for his stature in life. So that's what came into my heart, and I was like, we got to do this. So I called everybody, and they said, oh yeah, let's do this. So we did it. We did the first 3 celebrations at a small club called Club Bonafide on the East Side.
Yes.
Beautiful, packed the place, had a wonderful time. And then, because it was getting bigger and bigger, we had to figure out how we could expand. So we spoke to Greg Schenk at City College at Aaron Davis Hall, and he invited us to come to bring the show up there. So we did it for 2 years there. So we've got some mileage out of it, and Harry's attended. He's not moving around as much as he used to, but at that point he was still able to attend. So his family came, and we celebrated Harry's birthdays, and it was just really, it's still a labor of love, and he's about to turn 95. So keep your
Yeah,
ears open. We may be doing something for his 95th birthday too.
that's fantastic. I
Yeah.
saw him last year or 2 years ago. It was at the Apollo. The last
Hmm.
time I saw, I think it was 2 years ago.
Okay.
But what you did was really amazing, because it was a celebration of the whole of his career. So
Mm-hmm.
you went through all of the different milestones in his life, both from a point of view of singing and acting, and as an activity
Hmm.
leader,
Yeah.
so activist as he
Thank you.
was, as he is.
Hmm.
So that's how I knew him.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
In
Yeah.
Italy, I knew him as for that also.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was fantastic. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
And before we go back to your career, which is amazing, I would like to talk also about the immediate future, because you told me that you are going to be at Birdland, and after seeing all those things, I know that whatever you're doing is going to be great, is going to be outstanding. So
Thank you.
I want our viewer to know when you're going to be at Birdland and what is it going to be.
Yeah, we will be it's myself and my quartet, which is typically called soul jazz.
Yeah.
But this time we're not doing the R&B and funk that we normally do. And it's usually mixed in with jazz and all sorts of other things. So this time we're focusing specifically on jazz standards and standard styled material, even some original stuff that I've written. So it's going to be great fun. Yeah, it's going to be great fun. So it's the cooler side. I like to call it the cooler side of Ty Stevens.
And when is that?
That is Sunday, November 14th at 7 p.m. at Birdland Theater on 315 West 44th Street in Manhattan.
And if people want to get the tickets, they just call the Birdland.
They can call Birdland, or they can go to their website at, I think it's www.birdlandjazz.com.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm going to be there Sunday,
Oh, great.
November 14th.
Yes, yes.
I'm not
It's
missing
going to
that.
be great fun. We're going to have some fun. Yeah.
Your career spans over decades, and it is intense and filled with awards and with successful performances, both on and off Broadway. Which memories are dearest to you? Which you remember with most pleasure and pride of these events and these awards they received?
That is a big question, because there's so many moments, there's so many milestones, and I have gotten such joy out of my career. I mean, almost everything I've done has been a source of joy for me, and a source of pride. But when you say that, the first thing that did come to my mind was my first of only two Broadway shows. But I can say I have two Broadway shows. So what am I saying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
So
not going to say that.
yeah, it's true. So that was Sophisticated Ladies back in 1980. Now the show turned 40 years old this year. So,
Wow,
and because of all the COVID thing, I think we forgot that it was coming up and nobody planned anything. So,
that's
look out.
bad.
We still might do something maybe even for the 41st year just to make sure that we commemorate it. But yeah, I had my Broadway debut with Gregory Hines and Judith Jamison and Phyllis Hyman and Mercedes Ellington and Hinton Battle and Greg Burge and it was and Mercer Ellington and the Ellington Orchestra. So that's one of the highlights of my career. One of the greatest group of people I've ever worked with, inclusive. I think I'd say that the Belafonte and the Sophisticated Ladies groups are about the same in terms of my affection for them because we've never detached. We've always remained some sort of a family, stayed intact. So yeah, so that's one of the milestones. I would also say, of course, I've already spoken about Harry and our relationship and with the group there. But I'd also say that touring with my own band,
Mhm.
we've had such a great run, and fortunately, we continue to run. We continue to do what we do.
How long have you
But
had the band?
believe it or not, I've had a band
Mhm.
since I was on Broadway, because Phyllis Hyman was my mentor, and she really helped me to develop my singing and stagecraft in that respect, because I was a dancer at the time. I could sing, but I was a dancer. And so she helped me make that transition to be a singer. And so I started working in cabaret rooms and small clubs. And eventually I had to put a band together. So basically, I've had a band for close to 40 years. But this particular incarnation, it's headed by Richard Cummings.
Mhm.
He's my music director. He was Harry Belafonte's music director
Yes.
for over almost 30 years. So I'd say 25 years or so. And so we've become such a family that he's now my music director. I stole him from Harry.
Harry.
And
Does Harry
so
know you stole him?
yeah, Harry's given him to me pretty willingly. So because he's not working anymore at the moment. If he needed him, he would have priority. Believe me, I wouldn't be able to say anything to Richard to be like, go, go, and hopefully they call me too, which has happened. But this incarnation of my band, I'd say, is probably since the late '90s, early 2000s. Yeah.
That's
So
fantastic.
yeah.
And you're going all over. Tell me about a prize, an award you received that you're particularly proud of, because you've had the Jazzmobile Grand Prize
Mhm.
winner, BET Bet on Jazz, first
Mhm.
place winner at
Yeah.
Sing and Song competition, Something Strange.
Uh-huh.
So you got a few.
Yeah. Well, the first one out of that listing would be the Jazzmobile Award. The ones that were prior to that, I won't discount them, but in terms of really helping move me forward, the Jazzmobile Award, because here's the funny thing about that, is that I came in first, I won the award,
Mhm.
but number two behind me was Gregory Porter.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Gregory Porter came in number two to me, and now he's this
Wow.
big star. It's hilarious, but it's also something. It's a source of pride because I feel like not that I beat him out, but that I was in the same competition with him,
Yeah,
with the caliber of entertainment that he is, and
exactly.
that made me very happy, and I'm so happy for him. He's just done so
Yes.
well. Oh my God.
I
And
totally
secondly would be more recently the play that I've been working with,
agree.
that I co-wrote and co-produced. It's called On Kentucky Avenue,
Mhm.
and that we did at City College as well, and we did it in Atlantic City. We had it in small clubs around New York. It's a full feature play. It's a musical with a
It's
big
fantastic
cast.
play. I saw it
Thank you,
at
thank you.
Aaron Davis Hall.
Yeah, and so that we won 6 Adelco Awards
Wow.
for the play. Out of 10, we had 10 nominations. We won 6 of the 10, and that included me. Ah, I got the award for best actor in a musical, and
Wow.
that was like a dream come true. I've always wanted something like that under my belt, and it's great. So the show is still going on. You know, things are quiet right now, but we're working on some new appearances and some bookings on it, and so hopefully in the near future the general public will get to see more of it.
Fantastic, because that was really an incredible show. I loved it.
Thank you.
And you also did, you co-wrote, produced, and choreographed and starred in Shades of Harlem Review.
Yeah, this is the same production company that we created on Kentucky Avenue. Prior to on Kentucky Avenue, we did for, wow, we must have done Shades of Harlem for 20 years. And we took it all around the world. We took it to Japan, to St. Croix, to Lithuania. Yeah, aside from touring the United States with it. And but it began at the Village Gate.
Oh my God. I used to live down the corner. From the Village Gate. I lived right on Bleecker Street.
Yeah,
I was going there every night. Oh my God.
It's such a sin that place is not still around. It should have
I
been,
was crying.
landmarked. They should have landmarked that place. That's crazy. But yeah, so we started at the Village Gate in 1984, and then we went to Perugia, to the
Jazz Festival.
Yeah, to the what's the name of the festival again? The it's not a Perugia Jazz Festival. The Umbria Jazz Festival.
Umbria Jazz Festival.
Yeah, my brain was frying for a minute. Yeah, but we did the Umbria Jazz Festival 2 times, 3 times perhaps. And oh my God, what a wonderful experience that was. Some of the acts that I got to see. It's funny because I was just watching film of Celia Cruz last night.
Yes.
I got to see Celia Cruz and Tito Puente in Terni as part of the festival. And I was like, oh my God, I finally got to see them. It was great.
It's fantastic. Celia Cruz was amazing. I saw her I think in Marseille, I saw her. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Then I was going to talk about Sophisticated Ladies, but you did talk about that. And you also did on Broadway Marilyn and American Fable. Tell me about that. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, that was a very short-lived play. It lasted 2 weeks on Broadway. We did 6 weeks of rehearsal, but we did 2 weeks of performances, and then it was gone. It was a great show, potentially, because originally it was supposed to be a rock opera. And it was just as a point of reference, it was a play about Marilyn Monroe. And it was someone's concept of a rock opera was weird, but probably the most authentic because it gave it lots of guts. But unfortunately, the producers, I'm assuming it was the producers, got very uncomfortable with whether it would fly or not. So they started changing things, and it got weaker and weaker and weaker. So that by the time we got to Broadway, the show was like, it was okay. You know, lots of good songs though. Say again, sorry.
They might have been scared by someone.
Yeah.
I found maybe.
It's possible. It's possible.
I'm just imagining. I have no idea.
Yeah, but it was a great show. I had wonderful cast again. The reason it was kind of strange because I was like, well, why am I in a show about Marilyn Monroe? Because I'm this black guy, you know, where do I fit in? But what they did was myself, Peggy Blue, who was one of the stars of, she won Star Search. She was one of the big singers. She was also in The Wiz. She was in so many shows, and she's got this big voice, like Shaka Khan. You know, it's just like a big screamy voice. And she, myself, and another gentleman by the name of Michael Kubala were utilized as the rock opera part of the show. Okay. We had all the gritty tunes. We had all the, we changed characters all the time. So that's how we fit in. But other than that, the characters were appropriate to the story. You know, there was Joe DiMaggio, there was Arthur Miller, there was, the various and sundry people that were in her life. But it was fun, great cast again. I wish they'd have tried to fix it. Yeah. But they, money.
As an artist, as a singer, you have toured solo and with your band all over the world. Sorry, and you have recorded with industry legends like you just said, Peggy Lee, Dan Hartman, Nile Rodgers, Baba Alotunji,
Hmm.
Chuck Mangione, Gwen McCree, Alison Williams, among others,
Uh-huh. Including Harry.
and Woody Allen. Tell me about the recording industry, how you felt in it, and what is the record that you like most of what you did, or
Wow, that's a tough question. The first question I can answer a little more quickly. The music industry has changed a lot. Part of the dream that I had when I moved to New York, especially when I thought about singing, I wanted to become part of the fabric of recording. There are singers who sing in the studios all the time. They're on everybody's records. That's what I wanted. Uh, I digress by saying as a dancer, I wanted to do TV variety shows. I
oh,
wanted to be one of the dancers in the ensemble on the TV variety shows, but then they were gone. So everything seemed to change just when I was about to jump in and swim, but I did get in some time, and some of my favorite um, recordings that I've been on, that I'm on are, I'd say, some of the ones with the legends, because of who they were or who they are. To record with Peggy Lee was like, oh my God, I'm recording with Peggy Lee? It shocked me. It's like, why am I here? You're here because you can sing, obviously.
yes.
But just the fact that I was able to meet her and record. I don't even remember what the song or songs were. It's been that long, and I can't even find the album that it was on. But I know it's there, part of my resume, and I'm searching as we speak to some of the people that I'm connected with who would know the answer to that and find it for me. But also recording with Harry because of his legendary status. And one that I didn't record with that I just want to mention is I did a show with Eartha Kitt,
Oh,
and that,
yes.
and that was another opportunity to work with a legend that was so exciting because it's like, my mom. I just talk about my mom. My mom got so excited because I'm working with people from her era,
Generation.
and
Yes.
she was like, she nearly lost her mind when I told her I was working with Harry Belafonte.
Imagine.
Harry Belafonte and Gregory Hines, she was like, that was it. She was
Yeah.
ready. And then Adam Wade. So yeah, so many. I've gotten such a gift of being able to work with these people and learn from them, because that's really the gift.
Yeah,
And
that's
to
what it
see,
is, really.
yeah, to see how they work and see,
It
uh,
transfers to you all their knowledge.
yeah, you just get a chance to just go to school for free.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
exactly right.
Mhm.
And you have toured with your band and solo all over the place.
Mhm.
You've been to Russia, to Japan, to Europe, to Korea, to Morocco, and so on and so on. Tell me about these experiences and those that you like most, or maybe if there were some strange ones that you want to
Yeah.
talk about.
There are some strange ones. I guess I'll jump right into Russia.
Right.
Russia was probably one of the strangest gigs I've ever had, because the culture is so different from what I knew or learned, and uh, the language is not something I can read or understand. Like, you can understand I can understand some English, some English, some Spanish, some Portuguese, some Italian, because they're words that I recognize.
Of
In
course.
Russia, those words are just
But
like
the
abstract.
alphabet is not there.
And you can't read the alphabet because the alphabet doesn't look like our alphabet. It's like,
Yeah.
what? But I did learn some. I learned how to read some words, and some, obviously, some Russian phrases. But that was one of the biggest adjustments that I had to make. But I will say that the audience was so surprisingly receptive, because I thought, for one, that they felt kind of reserved, but
Mhm.
at the end they were so warm. And whenever I went back so many times, I think I toured Russia starting in 2008.
Wow.
Yeah, so and I'm actually getting ready to go back again in December if it works out. So that gives me a good amount of time spent in Russia. So they know me now, so it's easier. But initially it was like,
You are a star.
I don't think they like me. They're
Doesn't
wondering-
like you. That's why they call you back over and over again.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they wouldn't, because they wouldn't
Now that's true.
make any
It's-
money. So-
Exactly. It's all about the money. If you're not making any money, we're not calling you. So yeah, that's one of my favorites. I tour with a Japanese artist by the name of Toshi Kubota,
Mhm.
and I've been touring with him since '96, believe it or not. I'm part of his band. I sing backup and a little bit of dancing, but not much. But I love that gig, love it. Because Japanese culture is wonderful. Flying to Japan and being treated so well by the Japanese people is another thing that I love. But also just working with this particular artist, he's so funny for one. He's crazy funny, and then on top of that, he's very talented,
Is it
very very
jazz?
talented.
Is that jazz?
No, believe it or not, I'll call it pop. And the reason why I call it pop is because in Japan, he calls it soul.
Okay.
And he's good. He's like the most soulful Japanese artist they've got. He's the best. And whenever I've heard other Japanese artists sing his material, then I got the understanding, nah, they don't compare to him at all. He's excellent. But when you put him with an R&B artist from the States, he sounds like pop.
Yeah.
That's how it feels to me.
It all depends the lens
Yeah,
you see things
yeah,
from, right?
yeah. But he considers himself R&B, and he's really good. He's really, really good.
And tell me about Morocco. I'm particularly interested because I love Morocco,
Uh-huh.
and I would like to know where you were and what did you do in Morocco?
Yeah, now that's a good, interesting story. I can't remember. Well, yes, I can. It began with another producer that I worked with on cruise ships.
Mhm.
He was contracted to do parties for the King of Morocco at the time, um, and we would be flying over with full productions of shows.
Wow.
And when his contract was up, another person that I was associated with at the time received the contract, and I continued to go with him. And I became part of the production team, creating the shows and hiring the people and all that stuff. It was a lot of work, and I must say it was a lot of headache because there's so much protocol, because it's the
Oh, yes.
royal family.
Yeah,
You
king.
know, you can't just do a show. You have to do the best you can possibly do. And so it was a lot of work. And but the good side of it, we were treated so well protected. Ooh.
I can
we, we
imagine.
would go shopping and we would have guards with us.
Yeah.
Stuff like that because we were shopping as part of the entertainment for the royal family. So once the king passed away, his son continued to hire us for parties. We did birthday parties for his sister. We did Christmas parties. Yeah, for I would say that
Good.
was good for a good 10 years almost.
Wonderful.
Yeah, yeah.
I love Morocco. I think it's a fantastic
Oh,
place.
it's absolutely fantastic.
One last thing, Monte Carlo,
Monte Carlo, yes.
parting club, and then we'll have to say goodbye.
Okay, well, this is great. I'm enjoying it, and thank you for even, having me on and asking these questions. It's interesting to be able to talk about all of what I do and try to fit it into a short amount of time. But Monte Carlo came about from another show that I did.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing a show called I Can't Stop Loving You. It's a show about Ray Charles's music. It came out of London. So they booked the show in Monte Carlo at the Sporting Club. And while I was there, the producers at the Sporting Club took a liking to me.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had a conversation. I said, well, I have my own band. And, if you're looking to bring any bands over, here I am. The very next year, I was there with my band. And we stayed for 6 years.
Wow. Isn't that wonderful?
It was wonderful.
And things
Absolutely.
happen like that,
Mhm.
because they like you, because
Yeah.
of what you're doing,
Mhm.
and the quality of what you produce.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah, we opened for so many people. We got to open for Tony Bennett, Al Jarreau, George Benson, Celine Dion, Shaka Khan, Janet Jackson. We opened for so many people. Steely Dan, one of my favorites.
I
Um,
can't steal that.
oh my God, we got to open for so many people, and some of the education that I got in that way,
Yeah.
particularly with people like Tony Bennett. What a masterclass. Carlos Santana, Eric Clapton. Oh
Oh
my
my
God, so
God.
many.
And we are at the end of our show. I'm
Wonderful.
so happy you found time to do it because I know
Thank you.
you're very busy. You're also teaching now and so on and so
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
So we are going to see you again Sunday, November 14th in the afternoon
Yes.
at Birdlands in
Yes.
Midtown.
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have
Yeah.
a wonderful day and
Thank
thank you
you.
for being with us. And thank you for watching my Harlem Portraits. See you next Saturday, 12:30, 1993 Spectrum. Bye-bye.